Hello, and welcome to 3 Strategies to Modernize Your Firm. Modernizing your firm to the 21st century requires serious marketing and branding, optimizing your knowledge to create multiple flows of income, and investing in yourself as a business owner. So today's learning objectives are going to be to focus on strategy number 1, marketing and branding, strategy number 2, productizing your knowledge, and strategy number 3 is investing in yourself. But before we get started, I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Marie Tarosian. I'm a CPA advisor and a 10X certified coach, speaker, and mentor, an author, and a show host. I started my journey in entrepreneurship back in 2018, October 2018, with the full decision that I would be committing all the way to be able to create freedom of time to spend more time with my family that was growing. In January in 2020, I launched my CPA firm just before the world completely shut down for COVID-19. And I had no clue how to market or sell or find clients. And it was a very, very difficult time to launch my CPA firm. In October of 2020, however, I continued looking for ways to learn marketing and how to sell and how to be able to negotiate and close. I bumped into a very interesting webinar that specifically focused on, how to create wealth and multiple flows of income. So after the webinar, I signed up for this self-paced training and then an accelerator program, and I invested thousands of dollars and a lot of my personal time in learning the key strategies on how to market in this day and age, and be able to maximize my knowledge, and of course, continuously train and build new skills. So with that, I hope you're ready to learn these new strategies. I can't wait to get started. So strategy number 1, marketing and branding. So what would you need in this day and age to really gain attention in the marketplace? So some of the things that you want to focus on is most definitely social media and email marketing, of course, but there's other ways to do it too. So, but before you get done with that, you need to figure out who your ideal client is. What are your company's mission, vision, and core values? You want to promote that because that's going to attract clients and team members. You may want to do some videos such as the one I'm doing today, being speaking engagements, a live show. You may want to write a book and create content for social media, of course. There's so many different ways to be on target with in the marketing world and in the social media world. So these are some of the ways that you can get into it. The way I did it was, and I'm going to share what I did was, created my show that was really, really big deal. We were talking about accounting, business strategies, and financial statements, the IRS, tax returns, all that type of stuff. So the show was a really great hit for me, which opened up other doors as well down the line. I got requests for interviews. I was nominated as an emerging woman leader in accounting. I was featured as an advisor, and so many other opportunities that came from just being out there and putting myself out there. I have to tell you, this is not easy, but if you are committed to it, you can certainly do it. The second main strategy is to how to productize or optimize your knowledge and creating multiple flows of income. So whether you are in the legal field, in another CPA, an accounting firm, or any other like service-based organization, you really want to be able to repackage and find other ways of creating income for your firm. So some of the things that I actually did was, I collaborated with other, let's say, CPAs, and if they needed complementary services. For example, if they were doing tax-based work, I would help them, let's say, to clean up the books before they do the tax returns, or I would help them with some CFO work. So these are ways that you can actually increase your income. You can probably sell other products, that are complementary to the business that you have. Create an online learning platform, do webinars. Books, if you write a book, you can sell the book. Yes, it may not be a very massive thing, but if you have the right people to launch it for you, it will definitely generate additional income. You can do speaking. There's definitely ways of, using speaking as a way to bring more clients to you, which generates more revenue. Or it could be that you charge for speaking, and that could be the main thing as a side gig in addition to your firm. So there's different ways of creating additional revenue sources. And then now to really focus on how to create a product. So I gave you different examples of how you can monetize your knowledge and optimize it, but you can also create a product. For example, if you have a very unique way of working, a special methodology that you use to do your work, you may want to consider creating that as a product, create an IP. In my case, as I was thinking about how is it that I work, my style of working is different because I have an auditor background, then I have the corporate accounting background, the CFO work. So I decided to put together a system, a full-on methodology, which I call Valuation MT, and it's targeted to actually increase value of the business. So in that situation, I've created the full methodology, I have registered the methodology, and now I'm getting ready to launch it as a do-it-yourself with an e-course and a book done with you, where we can help a client do it with them. Specific things we'll do, specific things they'll do, or it could be a full-on done for you service. So in that case, the client steps away, we take over, we'll help everything, do all the work ourselves. So you may want to consider putting together that knowledge into an intellectual property and be able to monetize that. And of course, third, investing in yourself. As I mentioned earlier, I invested probably over $200,000 between actual money spent and the time spent in learning marketing and sales, which was something for accountants, something very difficult, not something we learn at school or in college. And when we are, as auditors or in public accounting, that is not what we're doing. We're not necessarily selling or marketing. We are just really focused on doing the deliverables and providing quality work. So what happened after doing all of these different things, to promote my firm, my business, and myself, which, my mentor says, you are your business. So you have to start thinking like that. The results were that I completely rebranded myself. I became instead of being just a CPA or an auditor, now I explain how I've become a CPA advisor. I focus really about advisory work, and I'm coaching businesses on all of these different strategies that will help them, expand their services, expand their revenues, and be well known in this day and age. With that, I would say, looking back, I feel that I was so naive in 2018, thinking that just because I can do great CFO services, that everyone's just going to show up at my door and, ask me to help them. But definitely that was not the case. I completely I underestimated how much marketing I had to do. Building social media presence takes a long time. And sometimes you look at other people and you see like, oh, they have like, I don't know, 10,000 followers. You're like barely 500. And it's very intimidating. But it's about committing to growing that following, growing, your network. So focus on doing things, one step at a time, and be consistent. And you will hear that from other marketers as well, where, being consistent and giving value through your content that you're posting, it's going to make a big difference. So you're going to become the expert in your field, and people want to do work with experts. They can solve problems. I didn't realize how much I had to push myself, to be in front of a camera. Like, this was not something easy I could do. But pushing myself and having a friend, let's say, help me launch that show as my guest, it just made things a lot easier because I could talk to him for a while, you know, and it wouldn't feel like we are on camera. It felt like we were just having an interesting discussion. So I didn't realize how much it was going to take, but now that I've done it, I'm more comfortable. So you really have to push yourself to do things maybe sometimes you don't like. So I also underestimated how much training time I'm going to have to do. You know, one of the difficulties I faced was even in hiring people to do marketing for me, they just didn't understand my business very well. They didn't understand the different areas of accounting that CPAs would do, and they could not really market the way I would do it. So of course, the sales training was massive for me. I did not know how to negotiate or handle, client objections. And those are skills that it took me hours of training to get there. So, and then creating the product, that is totally intellectual property that you're putting together. It takes a while to launch something like that. But there are other things, as I mentioned, let's say small webinars and online trainings that you can create short, small versions and be able to sell. A book could be done as well, but then a massive, a product, intellectual property might take a little bit longer for you, and it could be still be done. So again, thinking back, I feel like one webinar has changed the complete trajectory of how I started my business and how I do business now, and how I help people. And I hope that today this webinar helps you change yours and be able to expand on some of these areas and strategies you can use to increase your revenues at your firm and expand your knowledge. So I hope this was super helpful to you. Again, my name is Marie Teresian, and I'm so excited to be here to teach you these 3 strategies, which were how to market and brand yourself, how to productize and optimize your knowledge to increase revenues in your company, your firm, and of course, as always, investing in yourself. Until next time, have a great day.